What's up, YouTube?
Hey YouTube, it's me, William Morris, doing a profile here with Charlie. Today we're doing Heroes. I went 3-1 in my locals today, only losses to Sack Water Player. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started with the monster section. 1 Stratos, because I can only run 1. If I could run 4, I would. So,
Stratos is broke. I've heard it's a good card.
Yeah, it's a very good card. 3 Alias. Again, consistent monster, the one you're probably going to be going to the most. Probably key monster. Instinct Text, the 2 Bubble Man. So it is Bubble Beat, but 1's just not consistent enough because sometimes you need to make those Xyz plays and explode, but you can't. And then 3, you just draw it too much and it's way too inconsistent. The 1 Honest, because I have enough light targets with Alias and Xyz.
We need to get a Ghost Honest.
Yeah, we do. Gores, because it's friggin' Gores.
It's Gores.
And 2 Thunder Kings. The meta right now, we have a lot of wind-ups and water and the occasional rabbit player, but Thunder King just stops a lot of those rogue decks.
Takes a dump on
and
them.
he helps you with those matches that you don't have good ones in.
Yeah, that's the main reason why he beat me today. Stupid Thunder King.
I beat you almost every day.
Oh, yeah.
So,
shut up.
Alright, so next is the Trinity, Dark Hole, Monsterborn Heavy.
Got a plan.
Rhoda, some hero players don't run this. I liked it. The guy at Dr. YCS Indy didn't run it.
Why?
But he just said he had it in the search. I like it. It's good.
Nah.
Only the 2 G-Sparks. I have the 3 Alias, and I get them back with Hero Blast, but 3, sometimes you just draw it and it's dead. Maybe you can bait out an MST. But for the most part, 2 G-Sparks it works, and 3 is just, it's too cloggy. You don't want to draw it.
Yep.
Lances to protect your big Shining Set where you're not afraid to swing with Shining so you can hit the DPs. Mirror Forces, Tarantulas, things like that.
Yeah, like
2 Pot of Duality. Love it if this card would go back to 3 Konami. Just saying.
Just bring it back.
It helps you with the searches. The biggest problem with this deck is consistency. So if you can get good consistency on this deck, you're set.
Yeah.
2 MST. Back row tends to be a problem with this deck, and especially since I'm only running the 2 G-Sparks.
Yeah.
The MSTs tend to help.
Did you take out one of the MSTs for Lance?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't think I did. 2 E-Calls. Of course, I did the deck like 4 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
2 E-Calls, main searcher of the deck, gets you just about everything you need. 3 Miracle, this is probably your most explosive, best card, set of Ultras.
That's
sexy.
the
Charlie gave
best
me.
card ever.
Best card in the deck. There's no reason in Heroes not to run this at 3. I mean, because I run 9 monsters. We have so many targets with that, with Xyz and everything else. You just have so many options that you can go into that Miracle is just game.
Yeah,
it's usually when you're going Miracle.
You got Miracle, you have it.
It's a great top deck. I was playing Grab It today, top deck. So, he was pretty pissed, but hey, a win's a win.
2 Miracles and no TK.
Yeah. Alright. Traps. It's 9 monsters, I believe 16 or 17 spells, and I believe 15 traps. Starlight, you need to protect your guys when you don't have Lance, maybe they Mirror Force, or they Dark Hole, or Heavy, or even Torrential. There's so many things that destroy multiple cards in the format. Starlight just protects you.
You get Starlight off, you win.
This is the condom of Yu-Gi-Oh, and when you're doing it, you always need protection. So have the Starlight. Shield Blast, I was running 2 earlier. It tends to be a little inconsistent, and I don't want cards that have to set up with other cards.
Yeah, that's the scale drain version where you run more than 1. Yeah,
so I only have the 1 in here. And then the 1 Solemn Judgment, it's Judgment. It's just a slap on the wrist just saying, no, you're not doing that.
Back off.
Step back.
I got this.
2 warnings. It's warning. There's no need to explain that. 2 Deep Prison. I was running 1 earlier, but I tended to have people just try and swing over the monsters, and this just tends to stop it. So, 2 Mirror Forces. Considering dropping to 1, but there's so many times that people just overextend, and it just punishes bad players. 2 Compulse. A lot of problems with people trying to go stall against heroes, whether they're going Gotchi or Zen mains. Or even Maestro, he just gets over those problem cards. 2 Torrentials. A lot of times when I'm doing Torrentials, they're already doing it when they're ahead. So I'm usually plussing off of this. There's a rare occasion it's 1 for 1 on the worst.
Yeah.
And then 2 Bottomless for the traps. Really good. I usually side these out if I'm playing like Wind-Ups or Invectors. But they're really good against some of the other rogue decks down here because some Medolces are okay, and I usually side those out. But we have just a lot of weird people that play weird decks.
Yeah.
So Bottomless is really good, and it just hits those big monsters when they try to overlay to get over your heroes.
Yeah.
So that's the trap section.
We definitely have a weird meta.
Totally. I can't people. Well, down here we have a weird one. Up north we have a little bit different.
Well, yeah, it's
We have
all
players that don't
friggin'
suck.
water.
Yeah. Oh, up there's all water.
For
All
the
water and
deck.
rabbit. One yugioh cowboy just got him today.
He's
Super good. I didn't go to him once in the tournament today, but he puts in work. He's won games for me in the past on DN and when I've used him before. Maestro, just a staple exceeds. You can stall, do whatever. Roach, Chaos Dragons, and
he
water.
used that against me too.
And
Gets
so
the
there's
fortresses
times
like a
that this is
bitch.
good. For some reason, a lot of players on here like running machines, so Skill Swarm kind of helps with that situation.
No, just me. No one else plays machine.
Well, a couple other people like Scott and his kid do.
Were they here today?
No, not today, but usually they play heroes, or play machines. One Heroic Champion Excalibur, just a big beat stick. He gets over those cards that Shining can't get over.
That card is good.
Or if you know they have a Lance and their guy's like 3,000, say it's a BLS, so you could just swing, they Lance, and you just...
They swing and they lance, they just
screwed.
take a -2.
So there's really not much they can do with that. So he basically gets over everything. It's just a gigantic beat stick. And you can detach both materials with him for when you need to go Miracle. So probably one of my favorite exceeds in the whole deck. I usually go to him once every game.
Yeah.
Operative, it's really good because a lot of times people will try and stall.
This is
They'll stall. If you can't get the other one, this is Photon Operative. We call it Pedophile. So with him, a lot of people try to stall against heroes. They'll go Maestro, Gotchi, things like that. With this, you can just go to that, and you punish them for going to those weak stall monsters.
This is like his second condom after Starlight Road.
You always need a backup.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure you have it.
Just go MacGyver, just like rubber bands and
yeah, right.
and cellophane.
Blade
Armor Ninja, just consistent multiple attacks. I only run the one. Thought about going two, just don't have the room. Utopia, he's staple. I'm going to take him out. I'm eventually going to run Black Corn.
Or
just don't have one right now.
Emerald, once Emerald comes out.
Yeah, once it becomes legal, yeah. And then I have Super Poly on the side, and I usually can go to these. One Gaia, just good, gets over big monsters. Escarado, never really go to him. It's been a while since I've gone to him, but he's good to have.
Yeah.
One Zero, because you can go with the Bubble Man, and water is really popular. Nova Master, because, again, Dino Rabbits are really popular for some reason in Utah. Only the two Shinings. Thought about going three, but it doesn't leave you with enough room.
It's inconsistent.
So, usually what you do is you have one Shining, and you second Miracle Fusion, you go for another Shining, and then you just send this one back when it's destroyed.
Yeah.
So, you're just using a rotating door of Shinings.
And you can also get, like, Stratos or whatever back, and then go and make an Exceed with that instead.
And then one Tornado for those cards that you just can't get over, say they're too big. You just drop this guy and you call it good. And then the one Stardust for the Starlight Road, and those are that's my extra deck. And then if you want, I can do the side right now.
If you want, you can do the side.
Yeah, the side right now is more focused towards the meta we have in Utah, so I don't know if it'll work elsewhere. Two King Tiger Rangoos helps against the water and destroys the wind-ups. If you can sit on him with wind-ups,
you win.
You're good. They can't do anything with that.
They're like scoop.
Two Parallel World. In Utah, it's really popular to run Macro Rabbit.
Yeah, there's
just about every single person is running Macro Rabbit, so it's really good to have it.
Every other person at the tournament today was playing Macro.
Yeah.
It was bad.
My final matchup today I won was Macro Rabbit.
Yeah. Was that against Brent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two Prohibitions. Considering just dropping it to one.
That didn't work today, though.
Not against the water deck, but everything else it just stops. It's really, really good. It just basically says, okay, you can't use this card.
Back the fuck off.
So, yeah. One Super Poly. Thought about two. Tried main decking one. This card's an inherent neg, so you don't really want to go to it that often. It's really only in here for cards like Zen Mains and Dino Rabbit. I have one extra Hero Blast on the side, because I know that when I'm running cards against like Medolches, or the Mirror Match, this is really good. Or really good against wind-ups. I usually go to the Hero Blast.
Takes a dump on wind-ups.
It also gives me an option to side out for when I go to Macro, because when I go to Macro, I'll usually just take out the Hero Blast I have in my main deck.
Yep.
So this is pretty much just for Water, Chaos Dragons, which I haven't seen in a while, and Dark Worlds.
And Hero
Dark
Blast
Worlds are
also
a
really
bad
good because
matchup.
nobody sides in macro against heroes because
Yeah.
that's bad. Don't ever side in macro against heroes. We'll take a dump on it. It's funny.
Yeah, we'll just succeed and then we'll walk.
Like, okay, whatever.
So, Macrocosmos, really good against the water deck. Considering maybe taking out a Prohibition, adding a Fissure, really having trouble against water. I can beat the water, it's just tough. One Malcat, for some reason, people love back row, and especially in a mirror match when people are just setting tons of things, they try and swing with something big and you just Malcat them. And it is so good.
They should have a troll face on it.
If they try and swing with windups, they'll go for their guy. Like, they'll maybe make something small and they'll try and swing. And you can just 11 Catastrophe, destroy it. They'll swing with the rabbit.
They lose their factory
You
and their
Malcat
warning and
factory
they're bottomless.
all gone, and you can go off next turn. It's almost like a second Heavy Storm.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
2 Rivalry, that's mainly just for the windups.
Bubble Mans come out for these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no,
I
not
usually
Bubble Mans,
side out
Thunder
the
Kings
Thunder
too.
Kings when I do these.
Yeah, I was thinking
just don't
Gozen.
Thunders, so.
Yeah.
Really, really good card. Don't go to it often, but it's good. And then the last cards on my side are 2 Skill Drains. We have a lot of Madolche players that go to our locals, so this just just stops Madolches. No searches.
Okay, I'm done.
They don't get their special effects. They just stop, and they can't overlay. They have to overlay for their big guys, and we can just overlay for bigger. So, and then we can still Miracle Fusion. This just destroys windups, demolishes Madolches, and pretty much nothing else is good against. Yeah. There are a few other rogue decks, but for the most part, this is Madolches and windups.
We used to have Gadgets play over there too, but I haven't seen anybody play Gadgets in a long time.
Definitely the last person to run Gadgets. So
that was like 2.
This is my side deck. Went 3-1 today. Worked really, really well against the water deck. I probably wouldn't have sided the Prohibitions because they just have so many options that they can just play around it. So
yeah,
I mean, in
3
games, I did Lynn, Megalo, Spike, Undyne. I mean, I did just about everything, and still lost on game 3 because he top decked freaking Marksman. So
what a bitch.
Yeah. So that's my side. Extra main deck. It's really, really good. I've topped with it before. It's consistent. We're doing a big 3-on-3 tournament with 2 boxes per person as the prize. This is probably what I'm going to run. Maybe change a little bit with the side and extra, but for the most part, this is it. So if you need heroes, this is very, very consistent. You get off your big plays, and you almost always win. So the only bad matchup is Dark Worlds. So
Dark Worlds, and they
but
can't
no one has
have
a
6
good
Samurai.
Against 6 Samurai, if you can get Shining out, you've got game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is my deck. Cool. Enjoy YouTube.
See you guys.